What is up, guys? Bozemus83 back here. I actually realized that I never made a video showing the truck fully done, but here it is. The water on the floor there is just from a coolant leak. The radiator has some holes in it, but they're sending us a new one. It's under warranty, so we don't have to pay anything. There's the bed. It's not clean right now just because I haven't washed it this week. I usually wash it once every week. I take good care of this thing. But I thought I would make a video showing just all what we did to it, all the mods that we have on it currently, and maybe discuss some mods that we're going to do to it eventually. So I'll break it down kind of by category. So first, we'll start off with the under the hood mods. Okay, under the hood of this C10 of mine that we have, this is a LS1 engine out of a 98 Trans Am. So it's just a normal LS1 5.7 liter V8 engine. It's like 346 cubic inches, but it's basically 350. We have the first mod that we did to it. We put some long tube headers, so they're Speed Engineering long tube headers. They're pretty dirty right now, but you can see Speed Engineering long tube headers on there. The next thing that we did was I think we actually did that second. The first thing we did is put this Fitech system on it. It's just the Fitech 750. It's just the Ultimate LS ECU. It's a 500 horsepower kit. It has a 92, pretty sure it's a 92 millimeter throttle body on it. And it came with its own ECU, and it's a self-tuner, and you can also program stuff into it. And then we have a cold air intake. I think we got that off of eBay, just a cold air intake. I think it came with this, and it came with this. It came with a filter, but we put a different filter on it. This is just a Spectre high-performance air filter. It's kind of dirty. So yeah, cold air intake on there. Speed Engineering long tube headers. We did a Optima red top battery, which is really nice batteries. They last like 10, 12 years probably. They're really nice. And then we added the cold case radiator. That's the brand, is Cold Case. So, but our radiator right now has a leak down in between this weld and the actual fins. So it's in there. There's like 3 holes, but it's definitely leaking, which is not good. But they are sending us a new one because it is under warranty and we won't have to pay a dime for it. So, cold case radiator. I'm trying to think of what else. So, drivetrain wise and exhaust wise, running off of the headers. So the headers run into a 3-inch pipe, and then we took the pipe down to 2.5 inches just because it's super hard to fit all that underneath this chassis without having a really custom fabricated one. But right there we have Flow Monster mufflers. It's catless, just Flow Monster mufflers. There's no Y pipe or anything. It's literally just true dual exhaust. And then we added some rectangle exhaust tips on there, which look pretty sick from here. Like, we got inspiration from that off of like the new Chevy trucks, how they have the rectangle exhaust. Let me look at my list here and see what else we did to it. The exhaust is 2.5 inch, so the headers are 3 inch, and then we took it down to 2.5 inch the rest of the way back through the mufflers and whatever. We got the 2.5 inch exhaust tips that are rectangle. I already went over that. We have a Southwest Speed custom drive shaft. I don't know if you can see that in there. Southwest Speed custom drive shaft, just because with this engine and transmission combination, we had to get a custom drive shaft to fit this rear end in this truck. So I mentioned the LS1, but it also has a T56 in it, which also came stock in the 98 Trans Am. T56 6-speed, super nice transmission. Whenever we got it, it was brand new basically, so I think I went over that in my other videos. But the Southwest Speed drive shaft, we got that off of, I think, eBay, and we sent them our measurements and whatever. And this rear end that we have is also from the 98 Trans Am. It's got 342 gears in it, so it's pretty nice for daily driver. I mean, if you wanted to put the power down really bad, well, in this truck it's hard to because it's super light in the back end. But a lot of people go 411 gears, but 342s are really nice for daily drivers. And the wheels that we have on it, I think last video we were just now putting them on and we just got them, but these are Jegs. They're called Resto Rod wheels, and they're super dirty right now, but Jegs Resto Rod wheels. The fronts are 18 by 8 inches. That's the wheel. And then the backs are 20 by 10 inches. The tires are Cooper RS3 G1 tires. The fronts are 245 55 R18s. So you can see that there. 245 55s. And the back ones are 275 40s, I think. Let me see. Yeah, 275 40 R20. You can see that there. But these tires, really good performance tires. They do not go well in the snow with my experience, but also having a manual transmission and a super light rear end on a truck does not help with that. In the rain, they do get good traction, but if you try and hot rod it in the rain, it will lose traction. So, but for summer performance tires, these are really nice. They handle amazing on corners, just with my experience. My dad has them on his Camaro that he has, and that thing drives like a beast. Okay, so moving towards the back, we just talked about the wheels and tires. We also have rear lowering springs, which is going to be super hard to see. Yep, hold on. Okay, rear lowering springs, you can kind of see them there. I do not remember how low they are, but we had to get the lowering springs to make this gap here look a little better, which it does if I get back and look at it. I mean, it pretty much matches the front. It looks, the stance on it is pretty freaking good. Rear lowering springs, I do not remember how low of a drop they were. But I do not also remember the shocks that we have on it, but we do have different shocks on it. The front also has lowering springs, but we did not put those on there. It came basically in the with the frame that we bought whenever we bought it. But they are lower than the factory springs, I am pretty sure. We put the same shocks as we did on the rear, on the front. So that is the springs. Also in the back, we have this Holley Sniper gas tank. It's an 18-gallon tank, and we fabbed up this bed filler here. This came with the tank, I'm pretty sure, this chrome stuff. We just cut this plate out, we measured it, we cut the hole in the bed and just sat it there. It looks pretty good. I didn't know if I would like the offset, like this circle not being in the middle, but I think it gives it a pretty unique look. This just drops straight down into the bed, and I have a little, if I can get it out, I have a little fob on my key attachment that you just unscrew that cap, and then it just drops straight down into the tank. Again, this bed is dirty just because of this water jug that I'm carrying with me, since our radiator has a leak in it. But we should be getting that fixed this week. Me and my dad, well, my dad actually, painted the bed and it turned out great. We matched the paint with a paint gun, and he painted the bed. Turned out really great. It's definitely not perfect, just because it's our first time painting anything really by ourselves. But it looks, I mean, the color matches perfectly. So we painted the bed. We also did the rhino liner in the bed, which looks really good. It came with a kit. I do not remember the company that we got it from, but we actually taped this edge off by hand, and it is super straight, as you can see down the line. I mean, that thing is super straight. So we did that by hand, and the added lip of the rhino liner. I'm not worried about scratching the paint because we have this now, so if I'm throwing something in my bed, like my sports equipment or whatever, it's not gonna scratch this stuff. This stuff does not scratch whatsoever. If you do see any lines that look like scratches, they are not scratches. It's probably just my dog, because I have my dog in the back of this truck, and his fingernails actually rubbed off onto this, and it looked like scratches, but it was actually his fingernail material. So the rear tail lights, I do not remember what company they are. I'm pretty sure they were United Pacific, I think is the brand, but I'm not 100% sure. They're not sequential, so they're just normal tail lights. Nothing fancy, but they are super bright, and I do love the way they look. We also have, so those two things right there, that thing and that thing, are lights for my plate. And they're just, we got expensive ones, and then one went out, and then we got cheap ones, and they were both working, and then now one of them's out again. So, you know, not super high quality of product, but they do look cool, and you don't have to rig up a whole mounting system for the light. Let me double check and make sure that was everything. The brakes on it are just stock brakes. That's from the Trans Am. And the front brakes, I'm pretty sure, are stock from the C10, maybe. I honestly don't know. I don't even know if they had disc brakes back then. I'm assuming they did, but I don't know. So we have the Rhino Line bed. That is a third brake light. Again, I don't know the name of the brand that we got it from, but that third brake light flashes also with the hazards too, which is pretty unique. Cover the tail lights, I'm pretty sure they're United Pacific. But the headlights, let me shut this, we're done under the engine for now. Yes, headlights are aux beam halo headlights. And I will put a picture or something in the video just to show you guys what it looks like. But those are aux beam halo headlights. This white ring on the outside is a halo, so it's like a little circle. Looks super cool. And then these mirrors here are United Pacific mirrors, I know that for sure, and they have a flashing arrow in the mirror, so I'll try and also put a video showing you guys that. I'm trying to think. I got the aux beam headlights from Amazon. They were like $80 or something like that. Not too bad, and I haven't had any problems with them yet. The brightness on them isn't too bad. I mean, it's just average brightness. It's nothing crazy. But they are not the highest quality beam pattern that I've seen, but that's what you get for $80. I think the halos look really cool, and they're good for what they are. Just got them off Amazon. So that is it for the exterior of the truck. Again, sorry for it being dirty, but I haven't washed it this week. So now that we're done with the exterior, I will move on and talk about some of the stuff in the interior. Okay, moving on to the interior. The first thing I'm gonna talk about, which is on the interior, you can't see it, but there are door popper solenoids in behind this here, which they just pull the latch and they allow this latch mechanism to move freely. And that came with this, which is the actual popper that will push the door open. The quality on them is all right. I got them off of Amazon for, I think, $60 or $80. Sometimes this door has trouble opening. Passenger door works great, but I think the bigger issue is not the actual poppers. It's the latch here, because this latch is super worn out. We did not get new latches, so that'll be something that we're gonna have to upgrade eventually, but they generally work most of the time. Moving on to the actual inside, the first thing that you'll notice is the aftermarket gauges, which I will show you. I've put them in another video already showing you guys, but they are Dakota Digital VHX gauges. Super nice gauges. I'm gonna turn that off before my phone connects to my radio, which I'll get to in a second, but Dakota Digital VHX gauges, super nice. You can adjust a lot of things with them. You can adjust what displays on each one of the screens there. You can see, I mean, it has volts there, fuel there, and temperature and oil pressure there. Next thing that you'll notice is the steering wheel, which is a Forever Sharp. That's the brand, Forever Sharp steering wheel. Don't remember what I paid for it, but I got it on the Forever Sharp website. Looks really cool. Matches the rest of the interior really nicely. Wasn't too expensive, and it feels really great. And you can adjust, or not adjust, you can change the half wrap on it. So all you have to do is take those little Allen screws off, and you can adjust that. You don't even have to buy a whole steering wheel. You can just buy the half wrap that you want. So I got the gauges, the steering wheel, and the seats, which you'll also notice. This one's getting worn in really good, but the seats are out of an 03 to 07 Silverado. I'm not sure exactly what year they were, but 03 to 07 are all basically the same seats. The seat covers that we have for it are from Seat Covers Unlimited. That's where we got them. That's the website, Seat Covers Unlimited. Really nice. They fit really well. That one doesn't get used as much, but you can see they fit the seat super flush. This one just has, I mean, it's wearing, so it's stretching the stuff out, but they're really nice, really comfortable. We got the 03 to 07 Silverado seats just for the fact that they had a seat belt in them already, and we didn't have to rig anything up for that. Okay, moving on to the radio and sound system portion. So this is a Retro Sound is the brand. Whenever we got it, I think it was called the Long Beach series. Whatever series it is, it had the most options available. So it has 5 channels of radio that you can have into it. It has Bluetooth, has USB. We got this adapter that's a USB thing, which if you plug a USB into that, it has an aux setting for it. So you can use the USB as an aux. Hold on, I gotta put this back in there. But the Bluetooth function on it works great. You have radio. It also comes with Sirius XM if you use that. I think you have to unlock it somehow, but we don't use Sirius XM. It's a great radio. You can adjust the colors on the display. You can program different radio stations into it really easily. All you have to do is press and hold the button, just like a normal radio. These do different things. You can adjust the input of the audio. It will allow you to adjust your sub volume level, your sub, like it has extra bass thing. You can adjust your crossover frequencies on it. Super nice radio. Don't remember how much it cost, but we got it on the Retro Sound website. The next thing that I'm gonna talk about is the sub. So we just got the sub at Walmart. The sub is actually really good, I think. Just a Kicker Comp 10-inch sub. Sounds really good bass. And then these speakers, if you can see that, it'll focus, are just 6x9 speakers. There's one there, and there's one behind the other seat. So which those two alone give actually pretty good sound for what they are. And they're just kickers too, so they're not super top end high quality, but they're not bad. They sound actually pretty good. So we got the two 6x9s and a sub is all we're running in that. And then the last thing I think I'm going to talk about is just the vintage air conditioning unit. So it's just vintage air. We plumbed it and whatever. You can see the lines there. The only reason the lines are hanging down like that is because there's so many wires up under the dash that it was hard to. That's as much as we could really hide them. But vintage air, super nice, blows ice cold air. And then the last thing I guess I'll talk about is the Dynamat. So all this mat here is just sound deadening and heat shielding, basically, the interior. So it's actually a super nice driving, super quiet ride for a loud engine. You can't really notice it unless you're actually getting on the throttle pretty good. But it doesn't drone or anything. The exhaust doesn't drone at all. The Dynamat kind of helps limit that a lot. And, I mean, it never gets super hot in there either. So I think that's everything for the interior. So I guess I'll talk about the future mods that we're going to do to it. So as of now, the future mods that we're going to do to this truck are put a new radiator in it once they ship us the one, which it should be here this week. That way we don't have all that coolant leaking out on the floor everywhere. And then while we have the radiator out, we are going to put a different camshaft in it. So it should make a big difference in sound and a pretty good difference in power too. So, which I saved up all my money for it. Cool thing about one of these trucks is that, you know, it's a never-ending, like, you're never done with it. You can always put your money into it. You can always upgrade it. It's kind of a money pit, but it's super, super fun, and it's a great learning experience for someone like me who has really big interest in vehicles and things of that nature. So I think I pretty much covered everything. Again, sorry for it being dirty. It's just I need to wash it this week sometime, but I wash it once every week. I take good care of it. And I think I covered everything. If I missed anything, I'll probably put it in the description. But if you guys have any questions on any parts or anything that we used on this, feel free to leave a comment and I will try and answer them as soon as I can. And so I think I've covered everything on this truck. If you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down in the comments section. It's been a long journey with this truck, and it turned out super nice. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching.